Happy Munch. Wow. Happy March, y'all! Yay! So we made it. Wow. Got through the mess that was February. Well, might have not been a mess for everybody. I shouldn't really generalize like that. But anyway, Black History Month has come to a close. Very eventful, we should add. But now it's Women's Month, International Women's Month, and that means that we're coming out with whole new content, whole new people of color who you probably have not heard of. So in addition to, Black people who have done great things in history, I'm going to try to do a cross-section of pretty much all facets of people of color. But this particular video is going to talk about two Black female directors, and one of them, her history is very, very limited. In fact, I had to scour the internet to find anything of relevance for her, which kind of sucks. And another one who has a lot more to her and is very interesting to me because she kind of sounds like what I want to do or be as a filmmaker or maker of content, creator of sorts. So let's dive right into it. I can't swim. That was my best impression of that Vine. You know, the one with that little girl and she's like, I can't swim. I can't actually swim. So anyway, first woman, her name is Tressie Souders, and she was the first Black female director in America, allegedly, or recorded, I guess, in history. And she was born in Kansas, but moved to Kansas City, which is in Missouri. America's weird and can't come up with names that actually make sense. She started her career there, made a couple films. Her first was A Woman's Error. Cannot find the footage. We don't know where it is, but it was the first recorded film made by a Black female director, and the reviewers said that it was a good examination of Negro life. What does that mean? I don't know. There was no blackface. Good. But we don't really know anything else about it, but I could just assume that it was very female-centered and it was pretty good. So shout out to Tressie on that. There's really not that much to her history, unfortunately. She produced another film called Allure of a Woman, which was produced in 1921, and she also produced, directed, and starred with a social activist named Maria P. Williams in a movie called The Flames of Wrath. So that's all we know about Tressie right now. I guess if someone finds anything else, I'll be the first one to know. I'll sign up to the email list or something, I don't know. Moving on, I feel like Tressie's legacy has inspired other Black female filmmakers, and in particular, probably inspired Kathleen Collins, who's the next on our list of two people. And she was an African-American filmmaker, civil rights activist, and she's from Jersey City, which is in my neck of the woods, so I thought that was pretty cool. But the film that made her was Losing Ground. That is about a woman. Well, it was about a marriage that was kind of on the rocks. The wife, she was a scholar, and the husband was an eccentric painter, and she was kind of jealous of his subject for his next painting, which was this beautiful model lady. And when you hear the story, you don't really think about oh, this is about a Black couple or this is about a Hispanic couple. It's just about a couple. And that was kind of the goal with her content. She wanted to create stories featuring Black people, but not as a race card. What her quote was, saying that she wanted Black people in film and television to be not race subjects, but human beings. And that was the goal for her. She got a lot of flack in the beginning of her career because her first film, The Cruz Brothers and Miss Malloy, and that was featuring 3 Puerto Rican brothers and I guess a Puerto Rican woman as well, but people were confused because they're like, oh, you're black, why are you talking about Puerto Rican people? And it's just like, who cares about the fact that they're Puerto Rican? I mean, it's good for representation purposes, but like, we should be looking at people of color just as normal as we see white people. Like, when you see a film with white people, you're not just like, oh, well, why are they white? You know? Why are they white and not whatever else? But then you look at films with, like, people of color, and people automatically are like, oh, wow, they are this ethnicity, they're this race. And, I mean, that's the reality of our society. Like, it's good to notice these things, but it's also normalizing whiteness. So her goal as a writer and creator is to detract from that, tell stories, and at the same time feature people who aren't white, you know? She was also a short story writer and a poet. She has a collection of short stories called Whatever Happened to Interracial Love, and you know, you can tell from the title that it's about interracial relationships. It's just a compilation of, like, you know, stories that she's run into over the years, and up until literally last month, it wasn't even, like, published or, like, recognized. And her daughter, her only daughter, is trying to get her work, like, her name out there, because she died relatively young from breast cancer in the 1980s, and her work hasn't really been, like, examined, or she hasn't been examined as, like, a critical part of American film. So her daughter is working on changing that. I really want to get a copy of her book. I think it's just that'll be very interesting to read, you know? Like, I mean, it's the 21st century, interracial relationships obviously normalized, but during the time, I'm sure it was, like, groundbreaking work. So, yeah, Kathleen Collins, I think you're really great, and you've inspired a lot of Black female directors and writers today, like Ava DuVernay, Issa Rae, my role model. So, you know, we're gonna remember you, definitely, as a strong, independent Black filmmaker who has normalized Blackness. I missed a few things about Kathleen, but don't want to be talking your ear off, so we'll keep it at that. And I'll do more videos. I've been thinking of creative ways to tell these narratives better, so we'll see what I come up with the next video. But for now, peace out, y'all, deuces, and happy March.